Dynamic running backs and wide receivers adorn the Penn State offense, but the tight end position, a lot of unproven players there. We get some help from Tim Aydin, Black Shoe Diaries on the SB Nation platform for Penn State. Tim, I'm going to leave this up to you because, man, when people think Penn State football, it's Saquon Barkley, it's Chris Godwin and the like at wide receiver, but tight end, they may want to utilize them, but they're going to need to get some production out of some guys that we don't know.
I think everyone knows who most people know who Mike Gesicki is at this point. Very talented kid, former four-star recruit who Penn State beat out Ohio State for. He is a kid with tremendous talent, tremendous athleticism. Unfortunately, he just hasn't quite been able to put it together in the field yet at this point. He was notorious for having a case of the drops last year. There's one drop in particular he had against Ohio State. And I think Penn State, they were either up early or they were only trailing by less than a touchdown. But Gesicki dropped a catch inside the 30-yard line of Ohio State's that could have set up another score potentially. But with Penn State's offense last year, who knows? It may not have worked out anyway. But it was moments like that that made you, think like, man, if he could only put it together, this kid would be a weapon. And that brings me to my next point. Joe Moorhead, the new offensive coordinator, his system of offense is more – the tight end's role is more of a receiving type role as opposed to the blocking role, primarily blocking role they played in the old coordinator, John Donovan's system. And so I would think – think of it like the New England Patriots offensive system, how they use Rob Gronkowski mainly as a receiving weapon. I look for Gesicki to be utilized in that sort of manner, similar to Gronk. And I think, and he actually looked pretty solid in the spring game. He seemed to catch every ball that was thrown in his general direction. Looked like a kid who was just playing with more confidence. A kid not thinking too much. I think the problem was in the past he may have been mental as well. Just kind of getting in his own head. But it seems like he's been putting it together on the field in practice. Now he just has to go out and do it in a game. And with this new system intact, I do expect big things out of Gesicki. I think he improves on his 13 catches and 1 touchdown from last year.
Well, Tim, I would like to think that we're making our impression on YouTube with our college football analysis, but I don't think it comes close to what Nick Bowers is throwing up out there.
No, for those of you who aren't familiar, I guess most of you probably aren't familiar unless you're a diehard Penn State fan watching this, but the tight end redshirt freshman tight end Nick Bowers, who could be the backup to Gesicki this year. He's at the moment probably best known for appearing on SportsCenter's Top 10 for a YouTube clip of him jumping over 6-foot teammate Tyler Shoup's head in slow motion and throwing down a sick one-handed dunk at the Penn State Zion building. So, but it's type of athleticism you normally probably don't see in a tight end. At least not that kind of jumping ability, I should say. So it's definitely, you definitely hope that he can use that jumping ability to maybe make a few plays down the road.
Danny Dalton, very highly regarded out of Massachusetts. Don't find a lot of elite high school football players in that part of the country, but Dalton comes down out of New England, 16th rated tight end as a freshman in one category of tight ends. So maybe he breaks into the rotation. Any other guys that could be in the mix?
Dalton at this point, he has the red light from James Franklin, so it's unlikely that he plays this year. He's probably going to redshirt. But yes, definitely a kid with plenty of potential. As you said, one of the top players in the state of Massachusetts, I believe #1 tight end in the state. But he'll be a kid to keep an eye out for in future years. As far as other tight ends to look out for, I would also mention Tom Pancoast. From what I've been reading lately on 24/7 and other sites, it sounds like he's making a serious push to be the guy behind Gesicki. And he did, in fact, have a nice little touchdown grab in the spring game when Trace McSorley at the 5-yard line threw a couple nice little fakes and then just lobbed it to him at the goal line. But he's a kid who you might get to know a little better come the end of this season. And then there's also Jonathan Holland, who initially was recruited as a defensive end in the class 2015. He redshirted last year, and he has since moved over to tight end. So he's going to provide a little depth down there as well.
Tim Aydin from Black Shoe Diaries on the SB Nation platform for Penn State, helping us out on positional groupings across the board for the Nittany Lions right here at tight end on some unknown players at this point, getting set for the 2016 season. Appreciate it, Tim.
Thank you.